This week, it's all about the end of midnight releases, Jordan brand holiday pricing, Allen Iverson, and free Air Jordan 11 Concords. I am your host, Jacques Slade, and this is the weekly sneaker review. I hate to be the guy to start a show on such bad news, but you can say goodbye to midnight releases. I can officially confirm that Foot Locker, Foot Action, Finish Line, Eastbay, and any other big online retailer is no longer releasing shoes at midnight. They are moving their release times till 8 a.m. on the day of the release. This goes for online and also for the brick and mortar locations. This is an obvious response to all the events that happened over All-Star Weekend, and also in response to Nike changing their policy to no longer hold midnight releases. It kind of sucks for the people here on the West Coast because shoes were released at 8 a.m. East Coast time, which equals 5 a.m. West Coast time. That means we have to get up hella early just to try and cop online. But I guess if you look on the bright side, we are up early enough that if we do miss the online release, we can just go to the store because we'll be up early enough. So again, say goodnight to midnight releases, and now you just have to camp out for 8 extra hours. As many of you know, Swiss Beats has been going to work over at Reebok and has just announced that he is going to be re-releasing the Reebok Question. The model will be the original colorway, which is in red and white with the pearlized toe. Pricing is going to be at $125, and the release date is on May 25th. Now, I cannot confirm this, but I've heard rumors that the release is very, very limited to only like 5,000 pairs, which means that it's going to be crazy trying to get yourself a pair. I personally want a pair, but I haven't been able to get my hands on a pair yet, but I'm definitely working on it. Fun fact, just so you know, Allen Iverson, when he wore these shoes his rookie season, he had 5+ games where he scored 40 or more points, and he also won Rookie of the Year that season. So that's the Reebok Question, red and white, releasing on May 25th for $125. In some rather strange news this week, Blake Griffin actually tore a hole into his Nike Hyperdunk 2011 Elite. Well, actually I shouldn't say that he tore a hole. What happened was he was running down the court and Marc Gasol stepped on his foot, which caused the shoe to tear. What I'm attributing the tear to is the use of Kevlar for the flywire and Kevlar in the laces. I don't know if you guys know, but the original nylon that they use for the flywire can stretch 20 to 30% beyond its original size. When you use Kevlar, you can only stretch 1% beyond its original size. So adding that to the laces and the flywire gives an incredible lockdown, but at the same time, it leaves you very, very small room for error. So I'm sure when Marc stepped on the shoe and then Blake's weight versus Marc's weight and the inertia and the kinetic energy and all that stuff, it caused the shoe to tear. However, there is no reason to worry about Blake because NBA players, they always bring 3 pairs of shoes with them to the game, so Blake Griffin was able to switch out his shoes and get right back into the game. The sneaker community was in a bit of an uproar this week when it was announced that Jordan Brand will be raising the prices for the holiday 2012 releases. First reported by good friend G-Rock over at the Shoe Game, the Air Jordan 4 was going to be priced at $180, and the Air Jordan 11 in black and red was going to be priced at $200. Now, we're not sure why, but I did went ahead and contacted Jordan Brand directly, and what I was told was that prices have been adjusted, and the Air Jordan 4 is going to be released for $160, and the Air Jordan 11 is going to go up in price, but it is only going to be $5 and be priced at $185. For those of you that have been in the sneaker game for a while, you know that Jordan Brand has actually been raising the price of the Air Jordan 11 $5 for the last couple of years, so that is no surprise. So no need to worry, the Air Jordan 4 is the same price, and the Air Jordan 11 is only going to be $185. It has been a crazy week for sneaker news, and one of the big things that happened this week is that Nike announced that they will not be releasing the LeBron 9 Elite Taxi or the Air Jordan 4 Cavs or the Nike Zoom KD4 on Pearl on Nike.com, which is a little bit strange. However, there is no need to panic. You can still get your hands on the shoe because they will be releasing at local Nike stores, and they'll also be at other retailers. We're not sure exactly why they're not releasing them online, maybe because we adjusted times and things like that. I'm not exactly sure, but just know that the LeBron 9 Taxi, the Air Jordan 4 Cavs, and the Nike Zoom KD4 on Pearl will not be releasing online on Nike.com. However, I did contact Foot Locker, and Foot Locker said that they are going to have the Air Jordan 4 Cavs and the LeBron 9 Taxi available online. And if you've been watching this video, you know that they will be doing that at 8 a.m. a.m. on the day of the release, which is May 12th. And as far as the Nike Zoom KD4, you will have to get it at the store, or at the Nike store, or at House of Hoops, because no other locations will be carrying it.
Sunday's brand new.
That brings us to our releases, and I feel like I've already covered most of these with number one. Actually, all of these with number one. But the LeBron 9 Taxi, which is the Varsity Maize and Black version of the sneaker, will be releasing on Saturday, and it is priced at $250. We also have the Air Jordan 4 Cavs, which kind of looks like New York, but it's really Cavs. Sorry, Craig, Elo. It's Mike's fault, not mine. Those will be releasing for $160. And then we also have the Nike Zoom KD4 on Pearl, which is only $95, and that also releases on Saturday. Now, the Air Jordan 4 Cavs and the Nike LeBron 9 Elite Taxi will be releasing at Mr. R Sports, and you can reach Mr. R Sports at 305-534-1253. And as I mentioned at number one, the Nike Zoom KD4 is a House of Hoops exclusive, so you have to go to House of Hoops if you want to cop those. And I'm not sure if it's exclusive to House of Hoops, because they may have them at the Nike store also, but I know that they don't have them down at Mr. R Sports in Miami. Now let's move on to the question of the video. Last week I asked you guys about the new Nike release policy, moving from midnight to 8 a.m. Most of you were actually okay with the policy. It wasn't a big deal to you. You didn't really mind that they were changing it to 8 a.m. But some of you were, and you were pretty vocal about it. And I think that has to do with those West Coast people that have to get up at 5 a.m. in order to order online. But there is a silver lining, so to speak, to that. If you do get up at 5 a.m. when you're on the West Coast and you don't get them, you do still have time to go to the store and pick them up at 8 o'clock. For those on the East Coast, they either order online at 8 a.m. or they're in line at 8 a.m. So they don't really have a choice. So for this week's question of the video, it's not actually a question at all, but I want to tell you how you can win free Air Jordan Concords 11. Yes, you can win two free pair. All you have to do is hit the link down in the description and head over to kicksonfire.com. There's a page there that gives you all the instructions on what to do in order to enter the contest and win. So I don't ever want to hear you guys say that Kicks on Fire does not hook you up. Free Air Jordan 11 Concords? Are you serious? Come on now. Well, that is the end of the weekly review. As always, please like, share, subscribe to this video. It definitely helps us here at kicksonfire.com. If Facebook and Twitter is your thing, that information is down in the description. I am your host, Jacques Slade. This is the weekly sneaker review, and I will see you next week. Peace. The polyurethane islands have returned, although it's not exactly the same islands. The islands on the 6 were more scaled and looked more like animals, and this is more geometric.